At show and tell, my son displayed Mommy's hidden device. The teacher rang my phone instantly. "Mr. Whitmore, would you please come to school at once?" Her voice sounded strained, composed, yet I noticed a deep unease lurking beneath. I was stunned beyond belief when, you know that feeling when life feels steady? Like you're on solid ground, even if it's a bit rough? I was there. "My name's Jason. I'm 34, a full-time Uber driver, and yeah, I know the school drop-off guards by name." My world revolved around surge pricing, afternoon naps, and packing dinosaur gummies for my 6-year-old, Toby. My car, my spreadsheet for gas and tires, that's my paycheck. My whole brand is reliable. Until one morning, it all cracked. I was waiting in the pickup lane, coffee tasting like burnt cardboard, when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Mr. Whitmore, could you come to the school right away?" The voice was tight, professional, but underneath it, there was this tiny edge of discomfort, like she was stepping around broken glass. My heart seized. "Is Toby okay?" "He's fine. It's show and tell." "Show and tell?" I blinked at the windshield, my mind reeling. "I'm on my way." 10 minutes later, I'm in a tiny classroom, paper suns taped to the walls. Toby sits crisscross on the rug, a huge, proud grin on his face, holding up this glittery pink phone. A phone I'd never, ever seen. "This is Mommy's secret phone," he announces, beaming at 20 kids and 2 absolutely stunned adults. "It's for when she talks to Grandma, so Daddy won't get sad." My chest just went hollow. The teacher cleared her throat. "Toby, sweetie, let's put the phone away." She looked at me, her eyes apologetic. "We found it in his backpack." I knelt down, trying to keep my voice even. "Bud, where'd you get that?" He looked up, completely innocent. "Mommy said, keep it safe. She said if Daddy finds it, he'll get mad and stop giving Uncle Kyle money." I froze. The world went silent. The teacher started pretending to reorganize crayons, avoiding my gaze. My ears started to ring. "Mr. Whitmore," she said softly, "maybe take the phone? We can reschedule show and tell." I just nodded, slid the phone into my pocket, thanked her automatically, kissed Toby's head, and walked out to the parking lot. My body was on autopilot. My hands were shaking as I pressed the power button. The lock screen was a selfie of Megan, my wife, with Toby. Cute. Normal. But the notification banners? Not normal at all. "Mom, Denise, rent due. Asterisk Kyle's car got booted. Tell Jason the family fund covers it. Asterisk Kyle, tap me $600 or I'll lose the job. Use the blue card. Mag, delete messages." I stood there, Toby's words echoing in my head. Mommy's secret phone. Talks to Grandma, so Daddy won't get sad. The sun suddenly felt too bright. The asphalt smelled like hot pennies. I've always been the guy who says yes. Gas money for Megan's mom, Denise? Just this once. Groceries for Kyle, her 30-year-old brother, when he was between gigs? Sure. But a secret phone, set up specifically to go around me? That wasn't just a favor. That was a whole new shape of betrayal. I didn't call Megan. I didn't call Denise. I just sat in the driver's seat, engine off, staring at that glittery case. My pulse was a loud, steady drum against my ribs. I opened the messages. The very first thread I tapped started with a sentence that changed everything. Asterisk, don't tell Jason. He'll shut the cards again. Asterisk, and suddenly, I was wide awake. Before that secret phone, I thought we were stretched, yeah, but stable. I drove nights. Megan worked days at a salon. We'd high-five at the door, passing Toby like a baton. We had a plan. Pay off the last $3,200 on a credit card, build a cushion, maybe take Toby to the beach next summer. Nothing fancy, just not drowning. But the history, the real backstory, it went like this. Megan's mom, Denise, believed money was a group project. And by group, she meant me. She'd say things like, "We're family, Jason," whenever her car needed new tires. Kyle, her son, was the type who almost had a deal every week. Crypto once, then sneakers, then a mobile detailing empire that was just a vacuum and an Instagram account. I used to push back. Megan would get that tight look. "They're my family. I'm your family too." I'd say, "I know. I'm just asking for help this month." A lot of months turned into years. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself I was being kind. I told myself it would come back around. It never did. I tried rules. No cash. Groceries only. Gas only. They just found the edges and pressed. Just put the bill in your name for a minute. Can you co-sign? It's just for the deposit. We'll Venmo you Friday. Fridays came and went. 2 winters ago, the real mess started. My Corolla needed a new transmission. I took a week off Uber, ate noodles, sold old speakers to pay for it. Kyle crashed on our couch for a couple nights. When I got back on the road, my glove box was light. The gas card? Gone. Kyle, I said, holding up the empty slot. He shrugged. Oh, I borrowed it. Family card, right? It's not a family card. Megan stepped between us. Jason, he had a job interview. He said he'd fill it tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. I canceled the card and set alerts. For a while, that worked. Then tiny charges started slipping through on the other card. $12.99 here, $1.99 there. When I asked Megan, she'd be dismissive. It's a subscription we needed. Needed what? I was too tired most nights to fight. The secret phone showed me I should have fought. I sat there in the car outside the school and scrolled. These threads weren't one-offs. They were a whole, separate life. *** Denise. Tell him Toby needs new shoes. He'll say yes faster. *** Megan. He's on a bad night shift. Serge was weak. Try Sunday. *** Kyle. I can't get locked out again. Give me the blue card numbers. I'll only use $200. Megan. $200 max delete after. Then another thread made my stomach drop. Screenshots of my bank app. Username. Partial password hints. Security answers only Megan would know. Why do you have my login saved on this? I said it out loud to the empty car, like the phone was going to answer. There were photos too. My debit card, both sides, next to Toby's Lego dragon. A note underneath it. * going to pay mom's rent. He won't notice until Monday. * I scrolled back months. Rent. Fees. A bail bond for someone named Jace's friend, not me. Fun twist. The amounts weren't huge individually. $80, $140, $300. But when I tallied them in my head, it was thousands. My thousands. Uber nights. Oil changes. Tires. Hours I didn't get to tuck my son in because I was chasing Serge. The worst part wasn't even the money. It was the tone. *** Denise. He should be grateful he has a family to help. My generation had husbands who did their duty. *** Megan. He gets weird about money. He thinks everything's a spreadsheet. *** Kyle. Tell him it's for Toby. He melts when you say it's for the kid. *** I sat there, feeling this cold. Heavy things spread through my chest. I'm not a man to dramatize things. I change oil at 5,000 miles and buy brake pads on sale. But right then, I understood what betrayal feels like in the body. It's quiet. And it's heavy. I tried to give Megan the benefit of the doubt. I scrolled for one message from her that said no. I found some, but they were thin. Not now. He'll notice. Ask next week. It got darker. There was a chat labeled Salon Girls. In it, Megan joked about the driver like I was the help. ** coworker. Girl, you better keep that second phone charged. Men freak when you touch their money. ** Megan. He's not mean about it. Just cheap. I swear he loves that car more than me. ** I locked the phone and leaned my head against the steering wheel. Cheap. Okay. The cheap guy who paid Denise's dentist. The cheap guy who resurfaced Kyle's brake rotors on a Saturday because a real shop overcharges. The cheap guy who lined every school fundraiser envelope with $20. My own phone buzzed. Megan. I answered. Hey. Her voice was bright, normal. Hey, you grabbed Toby? Yeah, cool. I'm slammed. Can you do pickup and maybe throw $20 on Kyle's Cash App? His boss is silence. No. She laughed, like I told a bad joke. Jason, it's just, I have your other phone. More silence. Then a sharp inhale. Where did you? Toby brought it to show and tell. Nothing for a beat. I could hear salon dryers in the background. A coworker laughed at something. Megan's voice dropped, ice cold. Jason, don't go through that. I already did. Her tone flipped to defensive so fast it made my head spin. You're invading my privacy. It's my money. It's our kid. And it's my cards. I bit out. You always make it about you, she snapped. This is why I didn't tell you. Mom needed help. Kay needed help. Families help each other. I've been helping for years. Not enough, she said. And she actually sounded offended. You act like you're a saint because you drive people around. You're not the only one who works. There it was. She hung up before I could answer. My hands were steady now. The ringing in my ears faded into a plan-shaped quiet. I picked up Toby, made him a peanut butter sandwich, set him up with a cartoon, and sat at the table with both phones. I started writing everything down: dates, amounts, names, screenshots. I exported bank statements, pulled Cash App histories, Zelle receipts. I laid out a map of the drain. By dinner, I knew the total: $7,940 in 8 months. And that wasn't counting the transmission winter or the gas card saga. Just 8 months of slow bleeds, and it's only, and we'll pay you back Friday. At 8 p.m., there was a bang on the door. It was Denise. She didn't say hello. "Give Megan her phone," she ordered, pushing past me like it was her house. "Hi, Denise. She's hysterical at work. You had no right. That phone is private." I held it up. "This is a financial device." She rolled her eyes. "You always think you're a banker because you write things down." Behind her shoulder, Kyle lurked in a hoodie, eyes sliding around my living room like he was shopping. "Mom," he said, "ask him about the $600. My boss." "Not your mom," I said. "Not your boss. Not your $600. Denise planted her hands on her hips. "Jason, if you withhold funds from family, that's abuse." I laughed. It wasn't a nice sound. Abuse. You heard me. Men who control money control their wives. I won't let you do that to my daughter. I looked at Toby, peeking around the hallway corner. I kept my voice flat. "Get out of my house." Denise's mouth opened and closed like a goldfish. "Excuse me." "Out. We'll talk tomorrow." Kyle muttered something about ungrateful. I shut the door on both of them and stood straight for the first time in months. My heart was calm. My next steps were not complicated. Tomorrow, I was done being a wallet with feet. The confrontation happened in the worst possible place, Denise's dining room. Sunday night. Spaghetti steam fogging up the window. Everyone wearing that fake polite mask families put on right before they start yelling. She demanded we come to discuss budget like adults. I said yes because I wanted witnesses. Megan sat at the end of the table, arms crossed, jaw tight. Denise poured herself wine like it was holy water. Kyle was already spinning his keychain. Denise started. "Jason, you've created a hostile environment around money." I set a folder on the table. "Here's 8 months of transactions." Megan scoffed. "You made a binder?" "Wow. Yep." I slid out the first page. Dates, amounts, recipients, screenshots stapled behind each line. January 14th, $180 to Denise M., labeled gas plus groceries. January 20th, $85 to Kyle M., labeled tools. January 27th, $300 to county clerk for Kyle M. February 3rd, $90 to Denise M., phone bill. February 11th, $400. Denise waved her hand. "We don't need the play-by-play. To LVT to impound." I continued. "For Kyle's Ultima." February 18th, $250 to Bail Now LLC for Jace's friend. Not me. March 1st, $120 to Lux Nails for Mom's treat. Megan slammed her fork down. "Okay, enough. You think reading numbers makes you right? You never understand context." "The context," I said, "is that I worked 63 hours last week and came home to a negative balance because my wife and her family used a secret phone to route charges around me." Denise leaned forward. "Don't say her family, like we're strangers. We're your family, too." I looked at Toby's crayon drawing on their fridge. Our 3 stick figures holding hands. The word family in wobbly letters. My throat tightened, but my voice stayed even. "I'm setting boundaries." Kyle laughed. "You? Boundaries?" "Yes." I slid copies of the screenshots across the table. "Also, Megan, I called the bank. The blue card is closed. The debit cards are reissued. The joint account is separated pending review, effective tonight. Our household budget is for our household, not outside requests." Megan's face flushed. "You can't just—" "I can," I said quietly. Denise gripped her wine glass. "You're punishing all of us because you're insecure about being a driver. That's small." Something clicked for me. The cheap jabs, the salon chat jokes, the way they said driver, like it was a demotion. I felt anger rise, but it was level, not hot. "I make honest money," I said. "I pay for my kids' school shoes and the tires that keep strangers safe at 2 a.m. That's not small." Denise snorted. "Spare us the speech." "Okay," I said. "Then facts." I opened another sleeve. There's an attempted login to my bank at 2:13 a.m. from Denise's IP address. There's a Cash App to call minutes later. There are texts on the secret phone. I tapped the glitter case on the table, saying, "Don't tell Jason. He'll shut the cards again." Megan stood up. "Stop calling it secret. It's my privacy. Your privacy doesn't include my routing number." "Mom needed rent," she fired back. "Kyle's car got booted. What was I supposed to do? Let them suffer?" I looked at her, and it landed. How different we were right then. "Say no," I said quietly. "Or at least ask me before you say yes with my name." Denise slapped the table. "Enough. Jason, if you're going to be stubborn, then return the funds we fronted you over the years. Remember who watched Toby for free? Remember Thanksgiving? The gift cards." I stared at her. "You want to bill me for babysitting your grandson?" She lifted her chin. "We're not rich." "Neither am I," I said. "I'm just tired of being poor on purpose." Kyle pushed his chair back. "You think you're better than us because you wear a seatbelt for a living?" I exhaled through my nose. "I think I'm done funding your emergencies that are really habits." Megan's eyes were bright and hard. "So what? You cut my family off and keep playing hero. That's your plan." "No." I slid one last paper across. "This is my plan. Separate accounts, written budget. You get your own card. I don't monitor. I get mine. Toby's expenses are paid first. After that, any family help requests come through me and get one answer: no. If that doesn't work for you, we take a break. We figure out custody. I keep the car for work. You keep the salon checks. We stop bleeding." The room went very quiet. Even the spaghetti stopped steaming somehow. Denise was the first to speak. "Over my dead body, are you taking that boy away from his mother?" "I didn't say that," I replied. "I said we'd figure it out like adults." Megan looked at the papers. She looked at me. For a second, I thought I saw something crack. Fear, maybe. But then her mouth hardened. "You're not leaving," she said. "You don't have the guts." I stood. "Watch me." The next 48 hours were a blur of practical moves I should have made a year ago. I opened a new checking account at a credit union, switched my Uber deposits. I changed every password and enabled two-factor authentication with an app, not texts Megan could intercept. I froze my credit. I put a fraud alert on the bureaus. I bought a small fireproof box and locked up birth certificates, the car title, passports. I talked to a lawyer at a legal clinic. She listened to the numbers and didn't flinch. "You're allowed to protect yourself," she said. "You're also allowed to say no to adults who should manage their own lives." She emailed me a template for a financial separation agreement and a simple parenting schedule that prioritized Toby's school routine. When I got home, Megan was waiting at the kitchen table. The secret phone was in front of her like a talisman. "You embarrass me at my mother's house," she said. "I brought receipts." "You like humiliating me." I shook my head. "I like feeding our kid and sleeping at night." She crossed her arms. "Mom says you're trying to isolate me. I'm trying to stop giving money to a grown man who can't keep a job and a grown woman who calls babysitting a billable service." Megan's eyes flicked to the phone. "You took Toby to school in a stained t-shirt this morning." "Yeah," I said, "because I'm driving doubles and doing laundry between shifts since I'm down $1,000 to your brother's tow fees." Her jaw worked. Then she went for the wound. "You're not a real man if you can't provide for your wife's family." I let that sit between us. "I'm exactly a real man," I said. "I provide for my son, and I'm asking my wife to stop stealing from me." She flinched. "Don't say that word." "What word?" "Stealing." "It wasn't stealing. You took my card numbers. You gave them to other people. That's stealing." She looked down. For a long time, she didn't speak. When she did, her voice was small. I felt trapped. "They text me all day? Help me. We're short. You know Jason has money." She choked out. "I thought if I handled it for them, you wouldn't have to deal with it. You made sure I wouldn't deal with it by hiding it." Tears filled her eyes. "They're my family." "I know," I said, and I was surprised my voice was gentle. "They're not our bank." That night, I slept on the couch. The house was too quiet without a fight, which felt worse somehow. In the morning, Megan asked, "Are you leaving?" "I'm taking a week at Mike's place." Mike's a fellow driver with a spare room and a slow snore. "We need space. And Toby, we'll split the week." I printed a schedule. She stared at the paper like it was betrayal in Arial font. "My mom is going to freak." She already did. Mike's spare room smelled like lemon cleaner and coffee. I hung my shirts on a shower rod and taped Toby's drawing to the wall above the air mattress. I drove a lot. Late bars, airport runs, quiet couples who Venmo'd me $5 tips with hearts in the notes. I made $1,100 in 5 days. I fixed a taillight for $18 at the junkyard. Small wins. My body started to unclench. Meanwhile, the group chat in Deniseland lit up like a dumpster fire. Screenshots found their way to me. Megan's coworker sent them because she was sick of the drama. Asterisk Denise. He abducted my grandson. Asterisk Megan. He took a week to be petty. Asterisk Kyle. Tell him I'll pay him back after my new job starts. Asterisk Random Ant. Men are supposed to provide. I didn't respond. I bought Toby a cheap kite, and we spent my afternoon off in a windy field, making it crash and fly. He laughed so hard he hiccuped. That sound. That's the reason I keep going. Then Denise escalated. She showed up at my pickup spot at school and tried to unbuckle Toby from my car. I put my hand on the door frame and kept my voice level. Denise, stop. I'm his grandmother. You're scaring him. She looked up and saw the resource officer watching from 20 feet away. She let go. This isn't over. It is for today, I said, and drove away. I filed for a temporary parenting plan, like the lawyer suggested. It was simple. School day stable, handoffs at 6 p.m., no surprise pickups. The judge signed it in 2 days, because apparently the court had seen 1,000 versions of Denise. Megan texted me that night. Asterisk, we need to talk. Without the court. Asterisk, I agreed to meet at a coffee shop. Public, neutral, cheap. She showed up in a hoodie, tired eyes. No secret phone. She stirred her drink like it had insulted her. This is not who we are, she said. It's exactly who we are, I replied. We just said it out loud. She swallowed. Mom thinks you're trying to turn me against her. I think your mom raised you to think debt is air. She flinched, then exhaled. I hate that she makes every problem my problem. Then stop letting her. Her eyes flicked to mine. So it's just no forever? No to bailing out adults, I said. Yes to helping in ways that don't sink us, if we choose, and we can. Groceries when we have extra, rides, handyman stuff. But no to rent. No to cars. No to emergency cash apps at midnight. She nodded, slow. I don't know how to tell her. You don't owe her a thesis. You owe our kid a stable home. We sat with that. Then she said the thing I had been waiting for, and also dreading. I opened a card in your name. Her voice was barely above a whisper. It started at $500. I thought I'd pay it off. Then things happened. It's at $2,400. For a second, the room tilted. Then I steadied. Asterisk, this is why you freeze your credit. This is why you lock boxes. Asterisk, you need to call them and close it today. And then we figure out how to pay it from your checks, not mine. She nodded, tears on her lashes. Okay. Also, you need to send Kyle a single text. Do not contact me about money again. Then block him. She laughed once, ugly. He'll show up at the house. Then call me, or the police. Or don't answer the door. I'm done negotiating with a man who thinks almost had a job counts as employment. She wiped her eyes. Do you hate me? I looked at my hands. No. I'm angry. I'm disappointed. I'm also tired of living like we're one tire away from disaster because you can't say no to someone who treats you like a wallet. We left it there. Not fixed, but pointed toward grown-up weather. Denise, of course, did not go quietly. She called everyone. She posted a long Facebook rant about modern men who weaponize spreadsheets. My aunt screenshotted it back to me with 50 cry-laugh emojis. Kyle texted from a new number. Broke homie, $200, and I'm good. I replied with a screenshot of the parenting plan and nothing else. He called me a name that starts with P and ends with whipped. I put his number on silent. The funniest, saddest part is watching what happens when the tap shuts off. 2 weeks in, Denise suddenly found money for her rent by selling the antique hutch she swore was priceless. Kyle discovered his boss actually pays on Fridays if he shows up on time. The emergencies shrank when they had to carry them. At the end of the month, Megan handed me a receipt. Close the card, she said. Payment plan set. It's coming out of my check. I nodded. Good. She looked at me. I also blocked Mom for a week. I needed quiet. Pride crept in, unexpected. How'd it feel? Like my brain could breathe. I took a breath, too. For the first time in a long time, the house wasn't full of panic. It was full of normal stuff. Toby's sneakers by the door. A half-finished puzzle on the table. The hum of the fridge instead of Denise's ringtone. Megan and I aren't healed. We're nice to each other. Careful. We talk about therapy. We Googled sliding scale. We set up a cash envelope labeled fun and put $20 in it like it was a sacred act. It kind of is. I'm not going to pretend this ended with a movie kiss and everyone learning a lesson. Denise still thinks I'm an ATM with an attitude problem. Kay still texts from new numbers sometimes. And Megan still hesitates before saying no. We're human, not a spreadsheet, no matter how much I love a good self formula. But here's what changed. I stopped apologizing for having boundaries. I stopped letting "we're family" mean you can raid Jason's life. I stopped being a quiet man who pays and wonders why he's always angry. Last week, Toby did show and tell again. He brought the kite. He told the class, "My dad made it fly when I thought it was broken." I stood in the back with the other parents, hands in my pockets, and let that sentence land where the old one used to live. Mommy's secret phone. Now it's Dad made it fly. Megan and I are still working. We meet on Tuesdays after her shift and before mine. We talk about small things. We talk about big ones, too. Sometimes she says, "I need you to remind me it's okay to say no." Sometimes I do. Sometimes I ask for the reminder myself, because guilt is sneaky and kind people are easy targets. Denise tried one more stunt. She texted Megan, "Christmas is at my place. Everyone chips in $300. Megan typed, "We're not participating this year. We'll do a small one at home." She showed me the screen with shaking hands. I said, "Good job." We made cocoa that night and watched a movie on the couch. Lights off, tree crooked, kid asleep between us. It felt like wealth. The money is still tight. Tires aren't cheap, and neither is rent. But the math finally adds up, because it's our math, not theirs. If you need the moral written out plain, here it is, from one tire-weary driver to anyone who needs it. You are not a bad person for refusing to be a wallet with legs. You are not cruel for protecting the roof over your kid's head from adults who won't protect their own. Love doesn't mean unlimited access to your bank account. Family doesn't mean endless overdraft. I used to think saying no would make me the villain. Turns out, it made me a father my son can trust. It made me a man I can live with. What about you? Have you ever had to draw a hard line with family, even when it felt impossible? Tell me what you think in the comments. I really want to hear your stories.